on, everybody? Welcome back today, guys, to the channel. Something a little bit different. I wanted to kind of just talk a little bit about the G35 situation. I know it's been 2 years since we've seen any new content on the channel regarding the G35. The last episode was uploaded 2 years ago, and it was titled My Drift Jam Runs 2019 Broke Car Early 2003 G35 Welded Diff. Now, I watched this episode back, and there's a lot of things that I need to improve on for next time out, one of which is not using the handbrake so much and trying to use the momentum of the car, which is the biggest thing that I found. I was just constantly looking for the handbrake, and obviously, we've talked about this prior. I mean, this has been such a long time, and I just kind of wanted to refresh my own memory in that aspect of just watching back my runs and kind of getting prepared for this upcoming drift season. The plan is, at the moment, to have the car up and running by the end of the month, and hopefully hit, June's events that are going on. That would probably be the best birthday gift that I can give to myself, considering it's been a very long 2 years. Obviously, I just had the little one. She's now 2.5 years old. Things are kind of setting into place, and I think this is the best time to finally get the car back up and running. Now, there is a few hurdles that I need to get over before the car is ready to go again. And obviously, last time out, I ended up breaking the car extremely early in the day. I think it was only like lap 12 at the track, and it was a little bit disheartening. And obviously, that has been the most frustrating thing that has happened. Just getting there, towing the car there, and then breaking it super early and not having spare parts. So the car hasn't really moved for 2 years since that event. It's just been sitting in the garage full of cobwebs, and I finally started cleaning up the garage yesterday. I took the battery out so I can get a new battery put in there, and of course, me being me, I leave everything to the last minute, and ended up just not even taking out the battery. So the battery sat in there for 2 years. Battery's dead. I need a new one. I also grabbed some new differential fluid, some gasket maker, and another jug of oil, because obviously I feel like I should be draining the oil on the car since it's been sitting for so long. Obviously, differential fluid's got to be changed because I need to get that rear axle out of the rear end. If you guys don't know what happened, long story short, I was just super aggressive at the track. I watched it back today, and I feel like a lot of the issues that I had were kind of self-inflicted, right? Just me not being confident enough in the car as well too, using the handbrake way too much, using the clutch a lot, and in turn, I think I just kind of got a little bit overconfident and ended up just kind of beating the car a lot more than I should have been, right? I mean, even those first warm-up laps out on the track, I said I wasn't going to drift, and turns out I ended up drifting, the back end of the track right away. So there's just things that I need to do to kind of just, be a little bit more self-aware with what's happening and make sure I don't stray from the plan, because obviously that was the biggest thing. And I broke the car because I was just a little bit too aggressive after I would spin out, right? I did it twice, and I think the second time I ended up paying for it, but I would end up, I would spin, throw it in reverse, and then just kind of peel out in first gear, go into second gear. Obviously, looking back at it, should not have been stressing the car from a dig like that so often, right? So there's just things that I would love to be able to work on, and obviously looking back at it, what's done is done. 2 years later, the car is still broken from my stupidity out there. So I definitely don't want to have this happen again. When I get the car fixed and back up, I want to be as self-aware as possible and just become a better driver, right? Obviously, seat time will do that. I don't have very much seat time, and obviously, I have a 2-year gap right now from my last, kind of joyride on the car. So there's definitely things that I would like to improve for this season, and I'd love to know your thoughts down below after watching some of the footage on what I can do. Constructive criticism, always appreciated. But the plan, though, at the moment is I have a couple buddies coming over next week to help me get the rear end apart. Now, I'm hoping that I have the right axles, but from what the box says, I should have a replacement passenger side rear axle to go into that differential housing, and hopefully that'll be the fix of the problem. Obviously, easier said than done getting those bolts off of the actual rear axles, because they are very tough to get off. I tried it before last year, I think, or 2 years ago. I tried to get those axle bolts off, and they were almost impossible for me, right? We're going to get some people coming over that have a little bit more knowledge, a little bit more mechanical skill as well too, and hopefully the car will be back up and running. I just want to drive standard again. It's been so long, right? I bought the truck 2 years ago to tow the car 2 events, and I've towed the car 0 times 2 events with the truck, right? So I've definitely been slacking, but right, I've just been busy out here, man, I feel like, right? So I definitely do apologize for the gap in, you know, actual car content. Thankfully, there is a track locally to me, Drift Jam, which are still hosting events quite frequently. So these guys are keeping drifting alive out here where I'm at least, and you know, I definitely do appreciate them having the track, you know, up and running. And it's just a good vibe out there, man. Last time we went out to Drift Jam, I felt like I was in Need for Speed Pro Street all over again. It was super cool. The vibes that I got were something that I will always remember. The music playing, just it was some good stuff out there, man. I just wish I was out there for longer, right? I left kind of you know, a little bit after the car broke, got some clips and stuff like that. So, right, I mean, at least we made the day of it, but it was definitely sad to trailer home the car, you know, without really getting a lot of seat time on it. And that was the biggest thing. I had so many tires prepared for that event. I still have them in the garage, right? So just everything got kind of put on hold in a sense. And finally, I'm feeling that motivation to get the car back up and running. Obviously, it's mid-April right now, so you know, we're starting to get some nice weather out there. I'm seeing people posting on Instagram, on Facebook of them at their events, and it's just, you know, it's building up that hype to get back out on the track once again. There's still a lot that I need to do, and I wanted to know from you guys what you think I should be doing to a car that's sat for nearly 2 years in my garage right now. So at least it's been in good condition sitting, but I don't know if I should be changing any transmission fluid. Should I be flushing my hydraulic handbrake fluid, right? I don't know exactly. If you guys can help me out, let me know in the comment section down below what you would do on a car that just sat for 2 years. Obviously, oil change is a given. We're going to be dropping in the new battery in there as well too, because obviously I need that. I also need to fix my harness that I have in the car. That was one of the things that I didn't really completely figure out before I went to the event, so I'd like to get that situated. And then if all said and done, if that all gets done, I still need to fix one of the bolts that are on the front right of the car on the angle kit. I do believe that bolt just kind of sheared off itself, and I think it definitely could be stronger in there, although it did hold up for the last 2 drift events that I were at, right? So, you know, it's not a huge thing that I'm looking at right now, but, you know, I got long-term goals as well, too. I got a brand new clutch that I have yet to put on the car. I bought it 2.5 years ago thinking that I was going to make some big moves, and then everything went stale, right? So, I still have the clutch. Definitely would like to drop that into the car. That's a little bit easier said than done. Right, I mean, that will be a pretty big job. A few things that'll probably need to be changed along with that. But at least I have the clutch, and, you know, we're making moves. They're small moves right now, and obviously words are just words, and until you see some actual footage of me getting a little bit dirty on this thing and finally changing out some of these things, that will be the day that I'm looking for, right? The day that I'm loading this thing up on the trailer, going to the next drift event, hopefully during June. That'll be probably the plan, to get out there, maybe even camp out there this year too. Honestly, that's been something that I've wanted to do, is camping at a drift event for quite some time. You don't really ever get that experience, I don't think, on anywhere else other than a drift event, right? So that would be pretty cool to wake up to some engines being fired, just right, bop, 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 bop. Either way, right, I'm excited for this year. Hopefully you guys are as well too, to follow the content. The car is looking great. Obviously we still have the wrap on there from Menace Rides. Nothing's changed really about the car. I still even have the Drift Jam stickers on the side passenger window that I've had since, you know, last event on there. So I haven't changed anything. Car is sat exactly the way you see it for the last 2 years. I do need to change out the rear tires because the air went flat. The works though, the works up front still holding air out there, for right, not bad out here. So you know, the car is just, it needs a little TLC out here. I'm gonna give it a wash, get the cobwebs out of it. I gotta get my steering wheel back on, because that I took all of that apart to use on the rig a little bit a while ago. So just a lot of things that I want to get done. I'm excited though to get back into the seat and driving around and actually getting sideways on the G, right? I mean, this has been a project that I've been working on now for like, what, 5 years seems like, man. This car has been fun, but it doesn't have a lot of kilometers on it right now. So hopefully we can change that for this season, get back out there and get that rear end situated, and hopefully, you know, put back together properly, get the car ready to go, and start drifting once again. Again, if you guys have anything to help me out in the comment section, any tips, tricks, right? If you guys have worked on a G35 differential before or any of those axles, anything that I should be knowing, right? Help me on the comment section. I definitely do appreciate that. Huge thank you for coming around. Something a little bit different today, but I felt a little bit of nostalgia watching back some of the old runs from 2 years ago, right? I thought that was pretty cool. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as well too. And maybe if you guys are brand new to the channel, because obviously we've had a lot of new subscribers coming over from GT7's launch and stuff like that. I actually did a little bit of drifting, right? I dabbled a little bit, right? Had some fun, and hopefully going to do a little bit more this year as well too. That's the plan. Huge thank you for coming around. Like I said, if you guys have missed any of the previous episodes on the car, definitely check them out. Huge thanks for watching. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow on the channel. I'm out. Peace.